Do you know what are the Karakas in Vedic astrology? Karakas are the significators. Each planet signifies certain house in your horoscope. Today we are going to discuss about all the houses and the planets which signifies each house. Keep watching.
If you are new to channel, please consider subscribing. You will be getting Vedic astrological videos regularly.
Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I am your host Prasad Mahazani, help you go further faster into Vedic astrological studies. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You will be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. Today we are going to discuss about the Karakas. Karakas simply are the significators. These planets signify something. In earlier video, we discussed about the natural significators versus the functional significators. Natural signification is the, as the name suggests, is the natural signification of the planet. Like Venus is all about beauty, is about the luxuries. Saturn is about the duties, the hardships. Jupiter is about the wisdom, the higher purpose. So these are the natural significations. Then we talked about the temporal significations. Temporal significations depends upon the lordship of the planets. Okay, and if you don't know what is the difference between the natural signification versus the temporal, go watch my video about the natural significators versus the temporal significators. In this video, we are going to talk about a step further. We are going to talk about the houses of the horoscope and the planets which signifies each of the houses. This understanding will take your astrological knowledge to the next level. Let's start with the first house. If you want to judge the first house, you know the significations of the first house, but apart from it, the physical body, health, the self, the ego, when you have to judge these significations in any person's horoscope, apart from the first house, you have to look for the sun, because sun is the significator for the first house. What do I mean by that? When you have to judge the first house, you have to look for the first house lord and sun. Your ascendant may have certain planets, like you may have Aries ascendant and you have Mercury inside it. Still, you have to look for the position of the sun and the strength of the sun, the dignity of the sun, and how it is placed in your horoscope. Sun is the Karaka for the first house. Let's move on to the second house. What is the Karaka for the second house? Second house is about your wealth, is about your speech, is about your family, is about your income, is about the immediate environment. The first house, you have just entered into this reality, and the second house is your support system, is about your family. Okay, Jupiter is the Karaka for the second house. Okay, let's move on to the third house. Third house is about the communication, is about the courage, is about the younger siblings. What is the Karaka of the third house? Mars is the Karaka of the third house. So if you have to look for the, if you have to judge the third house, or if you want to judge the siblings, if you want to judge the courage, you not only have to look for the third house, but also you have to look for the Mars, where it is placed, what are the aspects it is receiving, what is the strength of the Mars, all these things to determine the third house indications. Okay, let's move on to the fourth house. Moon and Venus signifies the fourth house. What is fourth house? Fourth house is your private life, is your inner self, is your innermost self, is your mother, is your private life. Okay, so these two things are signified by Moon and Venus. Fifth house is about your education, is about your childbirth, is also your punya karma, the past life good deeds, and creativity, its hobbies, all this. But Jupiter is the Karaka for the fifth house. So if you want to look for the fifth house indications, check out the Jupiter as well in the horoscope. Then only you can come to the conclusion. Okay. What is the Karaka for the sixth house? Sixth house in Vedic astrology is about the diseases, obstacles, the day-to-day routine life. Okay, your daily routine is also seen from the sixth house. Saturn is the Karaka for the sixth house, as well as the Mars. Sixth house is also about the dates, the loans. Okay, so Saturn and Mars are the significators for the sixth house. Venus and Jupiter are the significators or the Karakas for the seventh house. In man's chart, Venus signifies the wife, and in woman chart, Jupiter signifies her husband. Okay, so seventh house has two significators, Venus as well as Jupiter. Okay, let's move on to the eighth house. Eighth house is about the death, the transformation, the up and downs, the occult, the mysticism, the things buried underground, the hidden things, the occult things, the spiritual things. I think you have got the answer for the Karaka. Yes, you're right. Saturn is the Karaka for the eighth house. Saturn is the Karaka for the death. Saturn is the Karaka for the transformation. Ninth house is signified by the planet Jupiter. Ninth house, you can say it is about father, but it is more about the gurus. It is about the authorities. It is about the religious. It is about the religious inclinations you have. It is about the spiritual practices you follow. It is about the higher education. It is about the higher purpose. It is about the hope, belief. All these are seen from the ninth house. So Jupiter is the Karaka for the ninth house. Okay, let's move on to the 10th house, the last Kendra house, the Karma house. And guess what? Who are the Karakas for the 10th house? There are three Karakas for the 10th house. Sun, Mercury and Saturn are the Karakas for the 10th house. So when you are looking for a career, apart from the 10th house and 10th lord, you have to look for the Sun, Saturn and Mercury. If they are well placed, you are good to go. So when you are looking for a career, you have to look for these three planets as well. Let's move on to the 11th house. 11th house is the house of fulfillment of your desires. It's about your long-term goals. It's about your dreams. 11th house is second to the 10th house. So this is the fruit of your labor. The karma which you have done, you will get the fruits of it. It is the dhanasthan of the karmasthan, is the labhasthan. Jupiter is the Karaka of the 11th house. That is why Jupiter is super important. Okay, and we are at the last house of the horoscope. The 12th house is about the loss of money, is about the spirituality. It is also about the long distance travel. It is about the spirituality, asylums, isolation, rejections, humiliation. Saturn is the Karaka of the 12th house. Next time when you have to judge any particular area of your life, like career or karma or labh or bhagya, do check the Karakas for those houses. And when you practice this, and when you start implementing this into your practice, astrological practice, this really takes your knowledge, understanding and perspective to the next level. Yes, this was my analysis on the houses and the Karakas. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Keep watching Pramanik Astrology channel. Hit that like button and see you in the next videos. Love and peace. This will change your perspective. Implement it.